Ask the Messengers, the program that deals with substance abuse, real people telling real stories. Where there is addiction, there is a chance for recovery. We're trying to help save lives on Ask the Messengers.
Today on the Ask the Messengers TV show, we bring you another Streets to Success with our street reporter Lashon Battle and her guest Aldeana Goodspeed, who shares her own story of addiction to recovery and now running her own recovery programs through her organization Steps to Life. Plus, we remember DMX. Also, our addiction specialist Blaine Burks helps us to understand the disease of addiction. Plus, letters from our mailbox sent in from one of our viewers and Bishop T.D. Jakes. And real people share real stories. The Ask the Messengers TV show begins now. Hey, it's your street reporter Lashon here with special guest Aldeana. Tell us a little bit about your past.
Well, first of all, my name is Aldeana, and Aldeana Goodspeed. And my past is very diverse because I am a person in recovery. I started off I grew up on the east side of Detroit, and I was raised with two parents. They were not married, but they lived together, common law. I was raised in not a very kind of destructive type of background. My parents had a after-hour joint. They did not have a regular 9-to-5 job. They were hustlers from the very beginning, and that's all I knew in the very beginning. We had a lot. We were given a lot of material things. My father drove a big Imperial car back in the 60s and the 50s, and that was kind of like the Cadillac back then. So I was raised with a sister and a brother who are no longer here as a result of drug usage. But at that time, growing up, it was just the lifestyle. That was the life I lived. That was the only life that I knew. And I did not know that it was dysfunctional until I got older. And you know how kids say, you know, your mother and father, you know, they got a bar, they got a jukebox in the house, they got a dice table, and they got go-go stands. I was raised with all that. So drugs in my neighborhood where I grew up, I'll tell you, Lashon, it was very common for people to use drugs.
Okay.
That was like
social acceptable, huh?
It was socially acceptable. Yes. People use drugs casually. At that time, I did not know about the long-term usage would lead me to become a full-blown addict. And so we recreationally use drugs. It started off with marijuana, and then it led to pills. And then from there, it led to heroin and then crack.
So what brought you to your knees? What made you say, look, enough is enough, I'm done?
Well, from the moment that I started using drugs, it was a progression of and a series of events and time that lapsed. You know, I started around the age of 15, casually. By the time I was in my 20s, it had got kind of serious. By the time I was in my mid 20s, I realized that I was caught up. And by that time, I was introduced to crack cocaine. The previous drugs like marijuana, heroin, and also speed, I really felt like I could control those drugs. And I was, I used drugs at night and I went to work by day. I was a functional addict and I did have a certain amount of control. But it wasn't until I started using crack that was so devastating that it brought me to my knees. And it was at that time I realized that I had lost control. I had totally, absolutely no control over this drug called crack cocaine. And that was the wake up call because, you know, I used to manage money. And then when I started using crack, that was out of the question.
It was over.
It was over. You can't manage anything. Whatever you have on you, you're going to spend that and do whatever you have to do to get some more. And I did that. I did whatever it took to get one more. And that's when I realized that this is not the way I want to be. And I remember one time, Sean, I had got my income tax check one day, cashed it, and the next day I was totally broke. Couldn't buy a pack of cigarettes, didn't have money to buy my children anything. And that was a wake-up call. And I cried and I prayed all night long. One of the worst times in my life was when I lost my son. I lost my son, and that was in 2012. And that was a period in my life where I didn't think that I would be able to move forward. But I'll tell you, the thought of using drugs, it just did not come to my mind.
Let's talk about your organization. What is it? Steps to Life?
Yes. So, yeah, I'm glad you asked. Yes. I during the pandemic, it was kind of like total lockdown for a lot of people. Mm-hmm. So what I did, I built a patio in my backyard, built that patio, and I got me a little tree. I was going to put my tree out there and just, kind of ride this pandemic out. I wasn't going anywhere. However, during that time, I started working on a program. And the program is called Steps to Life Incorporated. Steps to Life is a nonprofit 501c3 organization, and it was geared towards returning citizens. My goal was to prevent recidivism. When people come home from prison, my organization was going to offer them a variety of services, such as employment opportunities, mentorship. We have anger management groups. We have substance abuse groups. We have grief and loss groups and spirituality groups, building self-esteem groups, parenting groups. We have a variety of groups to offer people who have been incarcerated for long periods of time. So when they come home, they can reach out to Steps to Life Incorporated and get the help and the services that they need. Because this was one of the things that took my son away. My son was a returning citizen. And when he came home from prison, he tried very hard to find employment. And there were many barriers and obstacles in his way. And he ended up going back to crime, street crime, and he got killed. So I said, I couldn't help my son, so maybe I can help your son or some other mother's son or daughter. So that's what Steps to Life provides, a variety of services for people who have been to prison. Also, we expanded it not just for people who have been to prison, but for their families. We expanded it to the general population in the Detroit metro area. So we offer a lot of services to people returning from prison, and also people who are in the neighborhood, or people who just want a supportive atmosphere to be in. And we're located at the Mac Alive Center, and that's right there on Fisher and Mac in the heart of the hood.
Okay. Do you have a phone number? How do people know where to go find you at?
Well, the location is 3746 Fisher Street, and it's located right at, and the zip code is 48214, right there on the corner of Fisher and Mac. And it's the big yellow building. It's been there for like 30 plus years. Mm-hmm. And Steps to Life Incorporated partnered with Mac Alive last year. And when I presented to them the goal of Steps to Life, and I presented it to Alberta Tinsley Talabi. She used to be the city council person for Detroit, and also her sister, Artina Hardman, and she used to be a parole agent. And when I presented Steps to Life to them, they welcomed us and they said, come on board, come on in, and you can, we'll partner with you. And they gave us that opportunity to work in their facility. That's our headquarters, our main headquarters at the Mac Alive Center. And Yeah.
Okay, so before we go, I would like to ask you to look into the camera and give some young lady a hope shot, or young man who might be thinking about picking up for the very first time, or trying recreational marijuana. What would you get them some hope?
Yeah, I would say by all means, try something else. Using drugs, that is, it could seem like it is something that will ease your pain, but it is just a quick, temporarily fix that you think is so deceiving. It is a device of Satan. Please do not go there. I would say try other avenues, like get some help, go to a support center, go to a family member, because we all need somebody to talk to. We all need an outlet, and drugs is not the outlet. It may seem like it, but all that glitters is not gold. Okay, so try other avenues if you can. Reach out. Come to Steps of Life. Come to Steps of Life. We will help you with whatever is going on. But I do say there are other options. Try something different besides drugs, because I did the experimentation and the research for you, and it doesn't work. When I was young, I tried it. It does not work. And I am here to tell you not so much what I read, what I heard, but what I know for sure. It doesn't work. It is an illusion.
Stay tuned for more of Ask the Messengers.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available.
You can pay online by visiting the Wayne County Treasurer's Office website. Paying online is easy and convenient.
You can also download the mobile app and pay with your smartphone.
You can pay at one of 70 kiosks located throughout Wayne County.
And yes, you can always still send in your payments using the U.S. Postal Service.
If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. Your health and safety is very important to us. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
If you or someone you know is battling with any type of cancer, you need to read the book by Laverne Moore Slaughter, God Encounters Are Real. In her book, she tells how through prayer and faith, God healed her and set her free from stomach cancer. For more information and to get your copy, visit www.encountersarereal.net.
Hi, my name is Artesia Washington, and I'd like to welcome you to Irvine Newer Rehab, where we help you reach your goals of rehabilitation. So you ask, why choose Irvine? Now here at Irvine, we offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech and language pathology, counseling, aquatic therapy, and massage therapy. And we help build you back to your previous level of functioning. Give us a call, 248-415-2500, www.irvineneurorehab.com.
Underage drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths of youth annually. DWIHN, along with its provider partners, strive to educate young people on the deadly dangers of alcohol use and abuse. We teach youth about the dangers of drinking, especially when driving. If you are looking for resources to share with your loved one, give the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network a call, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help. More than 2.5 million Americans are addicted to opioids. The addiction is sometimes developed through the improper use of prescription painkillers. Using prescribed medication in ways or amounts not intended by a doctor is very dangerous. So it's important that unused prescriptions are properly disposed of. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, or for more information about prevention, treatment, and recovery services, or how to properly dispose of medication, contact the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, 24/7, 800.
DMX shook the entire world in one way or another. His music and film career garnered him legendary status. One thing is certain, DMX made it clear throughout his time here on earth of his never-ending struggles with drug addiction. His lyrics told his testimony, and his prayers told his willingness to surrender and never give up. The sudden death of this icon is another reminder that addiction is real, and by all means, never pick up the first one.
Let us pray. Lord Jesus, you have brought me from a place so dark to the point where I can now feel the love in my heart. And I know it's just the start, but there's more to come. So now I embrace it when I used to run. Didn't know what I was running from or running towards, till one day I saw it. I was running from the Lord. And when I came back, you accepted me with open arms and said, all is forgiven. And I became so strong that I can fight off the devil with the spoken word. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Amen.
If you or someone you know has an addiction problem of any kind, help is available 24/7. Just call the National Addiction Helpline, 1-800-662-HELP, 1-800-662-4357. DMX, gone but never forgotten.
And now from the Ask.
Love doing hair. I've been doing it for almost 30 years now, actually. And I do a little bit of everything. This style right here is a pin curl. This is my weekly client, Lenise, short and sassy. She just got a fresh haircut last week. The name of the salon is Greenfield Hair Collective. We're located on Greenfield between Outer Drive and Curtis. I'm on the second level. My name is Brenda. My phone number is 313-729-8194. Give me a call. I love what I do.
God's World, a Detroit institution that national needs.
I'm Wayne County Treasurer Eric Sabri, encouraging all taxpayers to please take advantage of the several payment options available. If you have to visit our office in person, you must make an appointment by going to treasurer.waynecounty.com. It only takes a few minutes. Facial covering or mask is required and social distancing is observed. You can also email our office at taxinfo@waynecounty.com or call us at 313-224-5990.
Underage drinking is responsible for more than 4,300 deaths of youth annually. DWIHN, along with its provider partners, strive to educate young people on the deadly dangers of alcohol use and abuse. We teach youth about the dangers of drinking, especially when driving. If you are looking for resources to share with your loved one, give the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network a call, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help.
More than 2.5 million Americans are addicted to opioids. The addiction is sometimes developed through the improper use of prescription painkillers. Using prescribed medication in ways or amounts not intended by a doctor is very dangerous. So it's important that unused prescriptions are properly disposed of. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, or for more information about prevention, treatment, and recovery services, or how to properly dispose of medication, contact the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network, 24/7, 800-241-4949. Here to talk, here to help.
Recovery is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to me. I'm able to see things clear. I'm able to remember things. I mean, this is how I've decided that I want to live my life, and I don't ever want to go back. So.
You really have to lean into the people that are trying to support you, like my family, like Mike and Phil. You know, you really have to surrender, because that's when the change is going to happen.
Some of you guys might know me from those movies Jackass. You might know me as a former professional skateboarder. You might know me from those TV shows Viva La Bam. You might know me as the author of that New York Times top 10 selling autobiography addiction memoir titled Dream Seller. But what I am is a person in long-term sobriety. I'm in recovery, and I keep that first and foremost throughout anything I do, because I've seen in my story, in my experience, what happens when I put my sobriety second. I lose it all. And I don't even lose it all, I give it away. You know, I hear people say I lost the career, the wife, the kids, the home. I didn't lose anything. I gave it away happily and willingly. As a matter of fact, I can take you to the street corners in Baltimore City where the new owner still resides. You know, that's the reality for an alcoholic like me. Sobriety has given me everything that drugs and alcohol promised me.
Understanding the Disease of Addiction by Blaine Burks. One of the most prevalent disorders in our society today is substance abuse. And a lot of people really don't understand how the disease of addiction works. I know that a lot of families are discombobulated and messed up, especially by older people that just feel like it's just simply a matter of just quitting. That Nancy Reagan came out with that slogan called just say no. But the disease of addiction is a lot deeper. They call it, it's cunning, it's powerful, and it's baffling, especially to those individuals that don't seem to be afflicted by this disorder. It causes an individual to turn into somebody that they entirely was not raised to be. A lot of people, when they have a problem with drugs or alcohol, especially alcohol, which a lot of people feel like in this society is not a problem because it's legal. And now we have marijuana that has now become legal. So a lot of people are saying that marijuana doesn't cause a problem. But the biggest drug problem in the United States or in the world is caused by alcoholism. Alcoholism has destroyed more individuals and families than all of the substances, cocaine, heroin, marijuana, all of those substances that are problems together. So alcohol is something that people, even though it's socially acceptable, should really be looked at the impact that it has on the individual and the impact thus it has on the individual's family. A lot of people feel like, well, alcohol is not a drug, it's legal. So they rationalize the use of the alcohol because it's socially prevalent. But the reality is alcohol causes more damage to the body physiologically, to the liver, to the kidney, and it causes brain disorders because alcohol affects the brain, which kills brain cells, which are an organism that doesn't reproduce itself. So people have to understand, or try to understand, a lot of the different things that go on with an individual that once they reach a certain stage in their use, they become addicted to the substance and therefore change the whole course of an individual's life.
Won't you help us to do exactly what our motto is, and that is to help save lives? Won't you send a generous donation to the information there on the screen? We would love to have you as part of our partnership to help save lives. You may not be able to go out in the street, you may not be able to come here to the show, but you can send your donation that helps us save lives. Our prayers and our sympathy go out to those who have lost loved ones as a result of their battle with addictions. Though they may not be with us physically, their light will forever shine within the spirits and within those family members who have been left behind. Ask the messengers, we offer these prayers up for you.
God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Well, that concludes this week's episode of the Ask the Messengers TV show. We hope something you heard today helped you in some way to understand addiction and to give anyone struggling the desire to surrender and seek help. Until next time, may you seek a power greater than yourself so that you too can turn your mess into a message that will help save lives. Continue to stay safe and most importantly, be kind and love one another.